Hey, this is going to be an ECW review for the 28th of April, and I thought this was an okay show. This was decent, this was pretty good. It had a good Christian promo, which I'm always glad to see. It had two good matches. Probably could have done with one more match, maybe showcasing young superstars in ECW, like an Evan Bourne or a Paul Burchill. And yeah, it didn't showcase any of ECW's new draft picks, but that's probably for the best because it was, their draft picks were Ezekiel Jackson and either Hawkins or Ryder. I have no idea which one because they're basically inseparable in my mind. Anyway, we start off, we're in Madison Square Garden, which is always good because you get loads of die-hard wrestling fans. We start off with Christian being announced, and he gets a massive pop in the crowd. He comes out, and Josh Matthews describes his victory over Swagger at Backlash as an upset, which I was fuming about, really. It's not an upset. He's a two-time NWA champion. Stop making him look like a bitch. Stop making him look like he just took 5 years randomly off, right? It's ridiculous that Swagger got to beat him once to begin with, but, Christian continues the myth by saying this is this winning the ECW championship and celebrating in front of the Madison Square Garden crowd is the greatest moment of his career. No. But yeah, he says it's finally sinking in, and he says what we're all thinking. He says Jack Swagger will be waiting backstage, waiting to come in and interrupt this, so why don't you just come out and do it, Jack? Rather than Jack Swagger, we get Tommy Dreamer. Dreamer comes out, congratulates Christian, but says he's not just here to congratulate him. We all know about the ultimatum he's made. Either win the title or retire, or is it win the title then retire? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, he's only got 6 weeks left on his contract, so he's challenging Christian to a match, and Christian says, yeah, sure, we can have a match. We'll have it tonight in front of your home crowd in Madison Square Garden, which is good. It's never going to be a great match, but fair enough. Then Jack Swagger finally makes it out. He says he is one of those people with a rematch clause. Some people do, some people don't. And he says that no one's getting a title shot till he gets a shot at Christian at Judgment Day. At which point Tiffany comes out and does her, I'm a successful businesswoman act, and says that Dreamer can have a title shot tonight and Swagger will still get his title shot at Judgment Day against the winner, which was all fair enough. Then we get a little shot of Tyson Kidd preparing for his match by getting, by the looks of it, nits combed out of his hair by Natalia, who acts more like a mother than a girlfriend, but whatever. This is leading up to Tyson Kidd Finlay. This was a pretty good match. I quite enjoyed this. It had some good psychology. Starts off with Finlay dominating because he's the wily veteran. He's outsmarting Kidd at every turn. Finlay puts up the test of strength and Kidd goes into it, and then Finlay just kicks him in the gut. Not that Tyson Kidd was going to win the test of strength anyway, so it's kind of ridiculous, but Finlay dominates for some time until he goes for a short arm clothesline, and Tyson Kidd drop kicks Finlay's knee. And then Tyson Kidd starts working Finlay's knee, and he's really good at this style of heel wrestling, working a body part. He keeps it interesting. He doesn't let it go dull. He does everything quickly and aggressively. He keeps changing holds and stuff like that. So he worked the knee really well. It was like 3 or 4 minutes, and there was a lot of him shouting, "I'll break his leg! I'll break his leg!" But other than that, it was good stuff. Eventually. Finlay comes back for a bit, but he's selling the knee injury. He does the inverted back breaker onto his knee. I really love that move, and it hurts his knee. He sells that. He does a little snap power slam. The end of the match comes. Finlay's on the outside. Tyson Kidd's just kicked him out, and Kidd goes for a baseball slide. Finlay lifts up the apron, again outsmarting him with his veteran instincts, and then starts beating on Kidd. Natalia provides a small distraction. Finlay goes back into the ring, and Kidd hits him in the knee with the shillelagh. And it gets the 3 count. Now, I can understand why he'd hit him in the knee, because the knee's injured, but why would that get you a 3 count? I have no idea. But, fair enough. Then we have Vladimir Kozlov come out in an army uniform and deliver, his usual promo about how no one can stop him and how his global domination is imminent, which was rubbish and no one cared. Then we have it announced that Gregory Helms has joined ECW as part of the announce team. ECW could really use a wrestler like Gregory Helms. I don't really understand this. Is he just retired now and they've just not mentioned it, which seems a bit harsh also. Yeah, I was pretty disappointed at this. I was like, why is he not wrestling? But fair enough. He talks to Evan Bourne. Evan Bourne says things are happening quickly in ECW. We got new draft picks. We've got a new champion. We got lots of new young superstars who want a chance, and he wants to assure everyone that he knows that you have to grab your moment in ECW, and that not only do Tommy Dreamer and Jack Swagger have title aspirations, but he also has title aspirations, which was good. And he was kind of stating what the fans were thinking: is Evan Bourne going to slip under the radar? Was that loss to John Morrison a few weeks ago just the beginning of the end, and he's going to become a mid-carder even on ECW? But I expect to see a Bourne title shot within the next 6 months, and probably a Bourne title within the next 6 months. So yeah, that was good. Paul Burchill runs in on the interview and says that they're going to have a rematch on Superstars, which I'm glad of because that was a good match last time. So yeah, fair enough. Paul Burchill wasn't very good on the mic though. He was pretty disappointing, but you know, whatever. Then we had Tommy Dreamer versus Christian. I think they expected Dreamer to be like really over the crowd. He was over, but not massively. In fact, not any more than Christian. So Christian was kind of given the heel role in this match. You know, he was working the arm quite aggressively. He threw Swagger and he threw Dreamer into the ring post, etc., etc. But yeah, I think Christian was probably actually the fan favorite in the match, so it kind of didn't make all that much sense. But you know, fair enough. Also, basically, this match ends in interference by Swagger, so Dreamer doesn't lose, and I think Dreamer could easily have been clean pinned here. Dreamer is not Bruno Sammartino. He is allowed to lose in New York. That's fair enough. But clearly they thought, I don't know, there'd be riots if Dreamer lost, which is just ridiculous. I think the crowd would have quite liked if Christian had won. Anyway, this match starts off good. Lots of stuff I like. Lots of jockeying for position, pro wrestling stuff, working each other's arms, headlocks, arm drags, etc., etc. I like all that stuff. Christian gains some momentum. He hits Fulcrum City Blues and goes for the kill switch. Dreamer reverses it, goes for the DDT, and Christian sells it like they're holding a gun to his head by like scrambling away from the DDT, which I really liked because let's face it, Christian's not going to get pinned by a DDT, right? That's a finishing move that's just never going to get it done. Finlay kicked out of the DDT a couple of weeks ago in a meaningless elimination chase to Backlash moment. So, so I was glad he was selling the finishing move as though, he could actually get beaten here. Dreamer later tries the DDT again, and Christian reverses it into an arm breaker DDT, which, is another nice move. I like that move. Christian gets a missile drop kick. Dreamer gathers some momentum. He does a superplex. He does the cactus clothesline over the top rope. He does an inverted DDT of his own. Then we get a sort of typical championship match, false finishes, with the Christian does the sunset flip and Dreamer reverses it and Christian reverses it again. I don't think it was ever in doubt who was going to win, but it's still nice to see those touches in championship match. Matt Striker remarks, that's championship experience already being shown by Christian. I was like, I wonder why that is. Also, I like how Matt Striker always mentions the title changes that have happened in the arena before, the history of the arena. I think that's always a good touch in commentary. Anyway, Dreamer's got some momentum again. He sets Christian up for the Tree of Woe, and at which point Jack Swagger interferes. He does a belly-to-belly suplex on Dreamer, and then he takes Christian out of the Tree of Woe position and gives him a gut-wrench powerbomb. This just made Christian look really weak. It looked like A, he couldn't beat Dreamer, and B, he couldn't beat Swagger. But fair enough. I suppose they didn't want to have Tommy Dreamer job for the 9 millionth time in his hometown. So all in all, a decent episode of ECW.